Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be on high alert for two storms that could be impacting the United States and have a potential to. So let's go ahead and get into it. Right now we are looking at the GFS model 66 hours out. You can see a low pressure system could be forming down here and getting pretty strong as it approaches Mexico. Let's go ahead and move it out here. Yeah, that is what we are seeing here, a low pressure system that could be impacting Mexico. And as I saw in the model earlier today, it actually does get pretty strong, 970 something millibars. Yeah, right here, 973 millibars. This is actually a category 2 hurricane around. And then you see how this isn't really that far out at 174 hours. Well, we already have a storm forming in the Atlantic. I mean, this is not too far out, right? Not too far out. We can see a good bit of moisture there as we move it out. That storm impacts Mexico. That could have some issues right there. And we can see that storm is starting to get a little bit of spin on it there as it's starting to wrap around that moisture. But let's go ahead and move it out a little bit more here, and there we go, 1000 millibars. It will not be getting as strong as the other storm at the end of this video, but remember the other storm is a little bit farther out, so we have to take that with a grain of salt. This one too, because it is 200 hours out. It goes over here, and this one kind of fizzles off over here. It goes over the Yucatan peninsula, actually deals with it pretty well here. It deals with it pretty well as it is pretty high terrain, and it goes there and it impacts Mexico, a good bit of rain. But here is a storm I'm worried about. This could have some really big effects on, well, the whole Gulf is in play right now. I mean, we don't know what could happen here, but if we go ahead and move it out, look at this. It's already getting, like, this is tropical storm status, right? But we are going to see it get really strong over here as we move out the video. And it deals again with the Yucatan Peninsula very well here, only dropping like 4 millibars over the Yucatan Peninsula, not completely shredding apart like Delta did and Grace did. Grace actually did pretty good in 2020. She did actually pretty good as we went across, but Delta absolutely got destroyed. It got destroyed before it even reached the Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 2 hurricane. It was a Category 4. Now, as we move out here, here's what I'm talking about. Almost rapidly intensifies from 984 to 975 in very little time. I mean, not fully rapidly intensifying, but it intensifies pretty fast here, and this could cause some massive problems. I mean, for all we know, it could go like this and impact the United States and Mexico, right? It could go like that. It could go like this. We have no idea, but still, this is something to watch out for, as the rain could be pretty bad. So could be the wind. This could be pretty damaging storm, and the effects from Mexico could be pretty bad. And yeah, let's go ahead and move on and look at the precip moisture. Right now we are looking at the MSOP moisture, not the precip. Well, it's total precip water, but let's go ahead and go into it. So right now we are 12 hours out. See, first of all, I mean, we all know this is going to have an abundance of moisture. Alex up there absolutely being crushed by dry air and becoming post-tropical. But it was pretty intense last night. It had hurricane force flight level winds. And we can see as we move it out, the storm right here, this one almost I would say rapidly intensifies. I mean, it stays around this area for a good bit and then drops to 973 millibars, goes to 971, and then landfalls at 973. Again, since the high terrain of Mexico, it kind of ruins the storm pretty quick. But we can see the other storm down here. I mean, there's moisture really isn't a problem. I mean, this is probably the boundaries of pretty high moisture levels. Anywhere out here is pretty dry. Also, the MDR is not really that favorable. That's why we're seeing multiple storms go from over here, because this area will be pretty favorable at that time. Shear, warm ocean temperatures. I mean, it does look pretty favorable, especially the South Gulf here. And we can see brings a lot of moisture, which could mean we are going to see a lot of rain with this storm here. And as it impacts land, it kind of gets shredded apart by the mountains, and the moisture kind of drifts up here into the United States, which could be causing some severe weather issues. Here's the main low pressure system again. Abundance of moisture, especially left over from the other storm in the Gulf. That'll stay there for a little while, and as the storm goes in, again, that moisture from the other storm is there. And the reason why the other storm wasn't doing too great is because the shear that it had to deal with when in this time, which we'll look at later, but it had to deal with a good bit this year. That's why the other storm fell apart. But here we are seeing, well, 996 millibars. It doesn't really strengthen too much until we get around right here, and the strength is pretty good. We can see 989. This is when it really starts to strengthen. I mean, we can definitely see it's wrapping in moisture here from all around. This is what we like to see with these types of storms. We can see that moisture just pulling in so much there, and I mean, this is pretty bad because then it gets pretty strong. We can see a huge burst of dry air coming down due to a cold front, and that could cause no formation up there. But that's the end of the model. But definitely this is something to watch. It's been here for 3 days. I mean 2 days now, more like 2 days, and like 5 model runs. I'm pretty sure this has been there. This time on this model run we have 2 to deal with, so we'll just see what happens. But yeah, this hurricane season is gonna get pretty active as we go throughout. Let's go ahead and look at the shear here. Right now we are looking at the shear, and it's pretty bad right now. I mean, this was in the past negative 48 hours. Alex, of course, was dealing with a ton of shear. It wasn't Tropical Storm Alex until it got around here. Then it got named, and then it strengthened pretty fast, and now it is up there. Let's go ahead and go to the positives real quick. Right there, Alex is moving out. Let's go ahead and move to the storms, probably around 108 hours. So here's the low pressure system. Again, a good bit of shear around it. I mean, nothing insane, but still something that I could deal with it. So I was looking it up yesterday, and anything below here, that light green is very productive, right? Because it also includes 850 millibar shear, which is lower levels, so that could cause it to be a little higher wind shear. But say a storm tracked through here and no shear was impacting it, it could get pretty strong, as that is what we're going to be seeing. The storm rapidly intensifies, pulling in. I'm pretty sure that's its wind, not the shear, and as it impacts Mexico, that'll be also a problem. And then our storm here in the Atlantic, it won't be doing crazy much, but it will still be impacting Mexico with a good bit of rain there. And then here is a storm we are talking about. So it'll be going like this, going over the Yucatan Peninsula and going like that. I will not make a cone for this because, well, it's way too far out. But here, 992 millibars as it impacts the Yucatan Peninsula. It could drop a good bit of rain, tropical storm force winds and conditions. But here, we can see the shear. I mean, it's really productive. I mean, it's definitely pretty productive here. Less shear as you get towards the coast, warm ocean temperatures, abundance of moisture. I mean, the storm really doesn't have to worry about much. Where it's heading, I mean, there's like no shear. There's a pocket of no shear, and it's very favorable for the storm. It goes in. Remember, some of the is its own wind, like around the storm. That is its own wind, but it will be impacting, and yeah, it could be pretty bad. Let's go ahead and look at the Nino 3.4 index. Right now we're looking at the Nino 3.4 index, and we can see overall a steady increase for a while, since probably April 30th, an overall increase. But I mean, I don't know what to expect. It'll probably keep on rising, go down, keep on rising. I mean, we really don't know what's this going to do, but the prediction is a La Nina this year. It will maybe go down, like you see how its wave motion is like that, and this could be favorable for that storm. Let's go ahead and move on to the sea surface temperatures here, and wow, it's warm in the Gulf especially. I mean, 28, 29 degrees Celsius, maybe 27, getting close to the track of Alex there, right? But still, where this storm is forming, even right now, it is absolutely warm, very favorable for ocean temperatures wise, very favorable for the storm, but not right now in that area. Of course, favorable because of the shear and a little bit less moisture than the storm would like to see. Let's go ahead and look at the Julian Oscillation from NOAA here, and this is the prediction. So here is where it is right now. It's right here. So I'm pretty sure this is when we are going to see the storm, when it's like over here, and that makes sense because if it's in the 1 or 2, that is when it's really active. So say it was like it went like that, then we would seeing a lot of storms come off the main development region, a ton, just keep on pushing moisture and moisture and moisture coming off the African coast. So that could also be a problem. But it's staying, once it gets in that circle, it's considered neutral. Anywhere in this circle right here is neutral. And so yeah, I mean, it'll be getting close to that when the storm comes, but it will probably be around here when that storm is forming. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what the storm does. And yeah, that'll be it for today's video. Check the video to the left of me and check the playlist to the right of me, and in the middle, subscribe. It'll help me out a ton. See ya.